Not so lucky are the POMs in the Mark II Jag.
Well, we blew an engine up yesterday, so we changed it on a petrol station forecourt.
For mechanic Robin Lackford, the promise of sunshine and warm weather has not eventuated.
And they tell me it never rains in Mexico.
He's beginning to query his sanity.
The whole place is mad, let alone anything else.
Mexican spirit is not just flowing from the pumps.
Now we're burning some pesos, and then we're fun again in the afternoon.
6 more stages will bring La Carrera to a festival in Tehuacan, a part of Mexico with a very special cactus. So special, in fact, that uranium mining is banned because the unique single-spear cactus is a protected species. The deeper we descend into Mexico, the more we see just how popular this race is.
I love cars, and since I was a child, I think every year that the most important race in the world is La Carrera Panamericana in Mexico, and I love it.
Diego Nunez and his girlfriend Carla have travelled more than 2 hours to see their first speed stage firsthand.
It's crazy that the police close these sections only for La Carrera. I think that I'm the same crazy like this because, for example, I'm from Puebla and I'm here with my friends. And viva La Carrera!
This race have a connection between generations, and the people loves the race in all the country, and obviously generate a lot of passion too.
Dave Ryan and Greg Stevenson should be bringing up the rear, but there's been no sign of the other 2 Mustangs. Down the road in Tehuacan, festivities have been in full swing. It seems the entire population has turned out to welcome the country's great race. From here, it's a 250-kilometre transport stage to Mexico City, and as expected, there's no reprieve from the race pace. The route book is clear. Remain together and with one of the convoys being led into Mexico City by the federal police. They are somewhere up ahead, but it's a mission just to stay in touch.
He's realised he's lost it.
The capital of metropolitan Mexico boasts a population nearly the size of Australia. Some 20 million plus reside within a 2,000 square kilometre radius, and today some of them have the privilege of witnessing the finish of La Carrera. Mind you, finding the finish line is no mean feat, and virtually impossible if you didn't make the convoy in. Joe and Christine Cordo are unlikely to forget missing that convoy.
We had a fantastic day for the 8 or 9 stages. We did very well, extremely well. Then somehow or other we managed to get sidetracked or lost getting into Mexico City. And that was the most stressful and helpless feeling that I can think of. I know it affected Christine badly, but we were stuck up in the traffic for 3.5 hours driving around the area that we were trying to get into, which nobody would let us get into. So needless to say, we missed all the action and the events preceding the dinner and so forth. And I've never been in traffic like it. It was taking 30 minutes to do 50 metres. It was just crazy, just crazy. Mexican madness is quite correct.
Oh, mate likes his siren, doesn't he?
This place is manic. It is just manic. It's just out of control. Like the chaos that they created last night and this morning, like, where else do you see 80-odd rally cars blast down the main streets under police escort with pedestrians running in between them and buses and you name it? It's just out of control. It's just unbelievable.
KC and Marianne were in the convoy, but sadly on the back of Todd's trailer.
Did the distributor drive same drama as Chihuahua? It was a little devastating, got to tell you, because we were actually on our race plan, which was run at 6/7/10, keep it in the top 20 outright, keep it in the top 5 in our class, and just wait for everyone to fall over, which is effectively what happened yesterday, but we fell over too, so am I pissed? A little disappointed.
It wasn't the best day for Mustangs. Len and Gail had been doing the best they could manhandling Sharav through the speed stages, but then the brakes went. So he did what any red-blooded Aussie would do.
I had 4 beers at the restaurant where we pulled up because that's the best I could get to. Then we tried all the local foods that they made. I helped them, and then I put all the young kids in the car, sat them in, put the steering wheel on, took pictures. They thought I was a freaking hero, didn't matter what I did. So we had a ball. We did the first stage, no brakes, yeah, beauty. So I thought I couldn't be bothered driving it because it's still been a pig. So at the end of the day, I've gone, we'll pull up here, wait for Todd, put it on the back of the truck, and so we had a good day.
Overnight, Ian and Val were awarded 3rd in class, so their day that had threatened to end in disaster wasn't so bad. The boys from Wyoming have been doing well. Paul Ladke and Adrian Gerrits are back for their 2nd attempt at La Carrera.
Nowhere else on earth will they allow you to do this, so you got to give it a shot.
The overnight leaders, Studebakers of course, depart Ciudad de Mexico. La Carrera will take the field north out of the country's capital, a population almost the size of Australia, and north to Querétaro. 200 kilometres of transport is interrupted for breakfast. The first car should start competition around 11 a.m. to the east of San Juan del Rio, 3 stages repeated in reverse direction. Just getting out of Mexico City is an adventure all of its own. And as cars scramble for position on the freeway, American Taz Harvey in the 260Z is swallowed by a Porsche.
We're doing 140 at the moment through the centre of Mexico City. We've got a silver Porsche that looks like a Mexican driving it who knows what to do. And we've got a taxi that's doing 160 and just gone up the inside lane.
Jerry Bashford's mission this trip is to chase down the Aussie teams, but in a previous life in Victoria, he had a very different role.
Booking people who went fast. 55, 160, and the taxi's still making ground on us.
Around here, though, excess speed seems to go unnoticed. 34 kilometres down the road, the unofficial race is paused for breakfast, and Taz laments his driving prowess in the traffic.
You know, I was trying to keep up with the taxi cab that had somebody's grandmother in the back, but for some reason when it got in the tight traffic, the guy lost me like a brick. So I guess I got to sharpen up my inner city driving skills.
Gabriel Perez does have the skills necessary to lead Mexico's great race. Actually, it's a bit of a family tradition.
Why La Carrera? That's an excellent question, you know. My father raced it in early 80s when it begins. And, well, after some years I raced with him, so I get in love with the Carrera. So I'm coming here to race it since 96 or something like that. So that's why I'm here. And La Carrera, you know, has something that is beautiful. You make a lot of friends here with some Europeans, Australians like yourself, and Americans. And I don't know, it's a great party to be here.
No mistakes for the Swans refuel program today.
It actually reduced me to tears at the start of the day, I have to say, which is not a good way to start a day. It was just a stupid mistake on my part, and I won't make it again.
You'd be pleased to know that we left the town square this morning with the gauge below empty again. So we were on the smell of an oily rag, which is why we cut you off so we could get into the fuel.
Yeah, we wanted you behind us in case something happened again.
Nothing does, and the fastest cars in the field, the Studebakers, lead the cavalcade back onto the streets. Departing the main freeway at San Juan del Rio, the next stop is the first speed stage starting at Bernal. It's to Len Catlin's liking. The first speed stage he's comfortably finished. Sharav's handling is not much better, but he and Gail are getting used to it, hauling in slower cars they've been seated behind. The Cordos are quicker by 1 place and less than 2 seconds over the 10k distance. Joe and Christine taking it easy on the unfamiliar pace notes. With several missed stages yesterday, Casey and Marianne were expecting to have some fun today, but it's short-lived when Bond throws a radiator hose and sidelines the Queenslanders.
Okay.
Well, it's not hot.
That doesn't matter. Just stop.
Oh, no. I wasn't going to go any further. It's flying a radiator hose.
As with each day before them, Ian and Val dominate the contingent from down under. Subaru is clinging to a top 20 position. Meantime, Dave and Greg have been making inroads at the back of the field. The slower Holden might still have engine issues, but unlike KC and Marianne, they are still running. The Victorians managed to pass the North American entry of Christian Reichardt. The Lincoln will suffer the same fate most of the day as it starts each speed stage in front of the slightly quicker FJ. For the Callinans, their problem is exacerbated. Despite finding water for the radiator, the electronics have been wet and the car won't start.
Oh, this is the water we put in the radiator. So we're going to start a mosquito farm. But how convenient, a broken radiator hose. When we pull up beside a 44-gallon drum of water. We're good at this stuff. We're good at breaking down.
Eventually, the road crew makes it through and Bon is transported to service. Everyone else makes it to service at the vineyard on the outskirts of Freixenet for a late lunch. Len's excited.
Very interesting morning. We've actually completed, Yahoo, praise the God, 3 stages under speed, which is I haven't done that before. So it was very good. We caught a few cars on one of the stages. We caught a couple of competitors' cars, then we caught the police car and the medic car, then we caught another car. And Gail just said, oh, you're a bit slow then. I've gone, yeah, but I'm just excited now. I'm excited. We've actually finished 3 stages at speed, which is really good.
The afternoon stages are a reverse run of the morning, and the Australian positions remain unchanged. Unfortunately for the Callinans, when you break down in La Carrera, organisers almost invariably take the transponder from the car. So even if you restart, there are no times recorded for the remainder of the day. Needless to say, KC's afternoon is better than the morning. But then there really is no official proof of that. The scenery high in the mountains is stunning. Cars descend to the valley below from nearly 1,900 metres.
Into a right 2. Left 1. Goes round to the left.
That was better. Not brain snapping, but certainly better than the way down.
The boys from Melbourne finished the day in fine spirit, but Dave is concerned about the FJ.
We think we've got an issue, but we don't know what the issue is, but it's been running hot. It's been going like a train though. Mate, it has been hauling ass. It's really been going well.
You've been taking it easy in the afternoon. Did you have a look over when you came down off the mountain?
No, I don't do that. I look at the piece of road in front of me.
The answer all good race drivers should give. But unfortunately, it meant they missed one of the funniest sights of the day. Along the route, oblivious to La Carrera, a community has gathered on Sunday afternoon to celebrate a Mexican tradition. With a difference. The bulls have been downsized and the toreadors, well, it speaks for itself. The crowd is in raptures as the bull calves are taunted by the well-endowed, scantily cross-dressed men. Once again, Mexico shows another of her eclectic sides. Querétaro dates back to 1531 and is the capital of the smaller state in Mexico of the same name. As the heritage-listed Mexican city stirs into life, so too do the teams in readiness for Day 4 of La Carrera. For KC, yesterday didn't go so well.
Didn't go so well is probably one of the greatest understatements. Blew the radiator hose off about 2 or 3 kilometres from the end of the first stage, and it pretty much all went downhill from there. But we did do the last 3 stages of the day, I didn't really want to, I was over it, but I'm really glad that we did because it was thoroughly enjoyable and it gave us a bit of seat time. We're going to be 173rd, but I guess that's taking the pressure off. We can maybe enjoy it a little more.
And we discover Ian and Val had a spin yesterday.
Oh, a small one or maybe a major one, yes. Nearly collected a white spectator van and nearly backed into the cliff. And but I don't think we lost too much time.
Today is a delayed start.
Lenny and Gail are having breakfast. That's what the delay is.
It's a short rally day. We only do 200 odd kilometres as compared to 550 rather. So it's a short day. So they're giving us a sleep in, and hopefully we'll get to Morelia early.
So 5 speed stages en route through Taramoro and Acombaro to service in Los Azufre. Then on through San Jose de la Combra and the overnight stop in Morelia. The Swan spin yesterday must have provided inspiration. Ian brings the Subaru Mustang through in 11th position outright in the short stage 1 and 17th by stage 2 as teams descend from the mountainous region of Guanajuato state. Considering the competition around him, a good performance. Chris and Joe are next in position 30, but as always, starting and finishing every speed stage to record a time. In Mexico, derived times for stages skipped is a bit hit and miss and not something to be relied on. Despite Chris's earlier concern, Len and Gail finish breakfast and make the start. By now, Len is resigned to racing for safety rather than speed.
That felt terrible.
Yeah, it's all over the road.
Yeah.
All right, that was safe enough, though.
Yeah.
The frustration for a team who has previously won Targa Newfoundland can't be underestimated. But the Catalans are making the most of their situation. Car 25 is a no-show. Not only that, none of the other Aussies have heard or seen them since late yesterday afternoon. Casey and Marianne leave the start, but they too don't make SS1. Crashing in La Carrera has the unusual distinction of making heroes out of the drivers. Somehow Gustavo Flores has understeered into the guardrail, so the convoy is brought to a halt to inspect the damage.
I think something wrong with the car because when I start to take in this curve, I feel that I cannot have a control on it.
With the front wheel ripped from the Falcon, there's no rush to get going, and officials record the incident. The traffic, meantime, has banked up behind the sweep car, and it's amongst them that we find bag of nails on the trailer.
Look, we're tired. It's just too hard. The whole event's too hard. We're tired. Stop it. My driver's no good. My driver's no good. He's tired. He quit.
We got 15 k's out of town. That's like almost a record.
So you're now playing officially being sweep?
Yes.
It's a long queue of sweeping too, isn't it?
It is.
Teams eventually drop down through Acombaro and turn onto the main highway to be greeted by the Mexican army, resting by the roadside. Only La Carrera seems to be moving with any pace in Mexico today. Highway 15 links Guadalajara and Mexico City, and at this point it skirts the edge of Lake Cuitzeo, the second largest freshwater lake in the country. Service is off the highway to the south, the first chance to check Bond's engine issue.
Marianne said, hey, we're getting detonation or something. She heard this noise and Casey pulled over. And it was running rough, it was doing that, and you had to keep the revs up a little bit to keep it running. But it seems like it's back here. And if you let it try to idle, it'll kill.
Finding the answer before the afternoon restart is pretty slim. Either way, Casey is over it.
Not only do I not know, my care factor is 0.
I'd like Gary to listen.
But anyway, Marianne said that I've got to keep smiling and be nice to Paul. So here I am, happy being nice to Paul.
Gail and Len are still going, but Sharav is not inspiring confidence.
The steering's gone again. We nearly went off the road in a transport stage, which was really exciting. But we did the one side of the road to the other and then Len grabbed it back. But yeah, it's been good.
Getting off the line hasn't been good for Joe. Gypsy Wind has been running hot, waiting to start.
When we're running, it's running beautiful at around 170, 160. But when you're in the lineup, she just comes up to about 200, 210. And of course,
fans on.
Yeah, and fans still on. Yeah, fans on. And of course, when you boot it to get going, your first gear you'll be all right, and you go into second, and she'll. It's getting rid of all the bubbles out of the system.
That's probably more of a fuel thing.
Yeah, it is a fuel. Yeah, oh yeah, that's one.
The afternoon stages are signature La Carrera speed stages. For David Buchanan in the Chrysler New Yorker, this is what Panamericana is all about.
Well, it's mountains, lots of curves. You can set up really nice. You got to look out for the pine needles on the road if they're still there, if they're damp. Very dangerous. If it's dry and the wind will blow them off, it will be just a terrific run.
Joe and Christine head out for the final stages of the day.
Okay, we're just going up here 3.6 kilometres.
The Catalans will also finish, but with Bond still trailer bound, it's siesta time for KC and Marianne.
Righto, both of you.
Copper is popular around these parts, and local roadside stalls trade in the bright metal and local spreads. Jerry gets a call that one of the cars has lost a wheel, and the team scrambles into action.
Well, one of the cars has lost a hub, and we suspect it might be landing on a front hub, and that's probably why his front end has been playing up all the time. So hopefully it didn't happen in a terribly bad place, because Gail would not be happy.
As it turns out, it's Subaru.
The front just started wandering